Hello and welcome to another quick introductory video for a resource that was created with the Physical Education and Wellness Collaborative Community in the 2024-25 year. This is a resource specifically for K to 6 physical education and wellness, and was, as I said, it took us about a month to kind of dial into how to structure this resource and how to build it in a way that would be useful for the elementary generalist and also the phys ed specialist in elementary. So this one is called the Journaling and Dialogue Prompts. The way it started was as we were all using the new curriculum, we realized that quite a few of the outcomes or the KUSPs dealt with discussing, describing, explaining things that sometimes are a little challenging to do both in the gym and also if you're doing activities in the classroom around the wellness KUSPs. So I did a deep dive back into the curriculum one more time and looked for these. I was vetting all of the KUSPs in the entire curriculum by grade and pulling them out that I thought would be a great opportunity to record some information and some form of assessment based on the student's understanding of specific KUSPs. Right. Then, after we went through a few iterations, we ended up listing them by grade and the OI, the organizing idea, because that just seemed to make sense. That way, if you're a grade 3 teacher, you can go in and just print off those. I like to have them actually printed out on a clipboard, and I'll focus on one or two of them, maybe one of the organizing ideas for an entire month. And that way it gives me a lot of opportunities to go back and check the questions. Have I got them? Have I actually evaluated the students on them? Again, in one of my other videos on tracking and kind of seeing how students are progressing through the KUSPs, because we have that numbered system. So if it's A1, that's one of my outcomes, the KUSP that I'm actually evaluating, I can just tick it off. That way I know if the student has described it or it has some kind of understanding about it. So again, this is in conjunction with the ARAPLC. And this is the table of contents. I'm not going to go through everything, but I wanted to show you a few key pieces. So just as a reminder, these are the organizing ideas from the 8 dimensions of the new curriculum. So it's there just as a reminder, and also so the color coding is a little easier to understand. When I taught elementary for 8 years, grade 1 to 3, one of the things that I really tried to enforce and to encourage was the use of like that disciplinary vocabulary. So in here, for each of the dimensions, I've just listed some really key pieces of vocabulary from the curriculum. If you have a word wall, not a bad idea to have them up. If you don't, no problem. Even if you're doing a specific one in, let's say, healthy eating or maybe tactics and strategy, you could put these 4 key pieces of vocabulary up, remind students that those are what we're trying to use. And there's some tips on this to help you use this resource. Okay, like I wouldn't recommend printing off the entire resource unless you're a phys ed specialist. There, on average, there's 2 to 3 prompts per KUSP. Add to it, change it. If you read one, you're like, that's a great idea, but I'm going to modify it. It's your class, right? It's your assessment. It's your experience you're creating with your students. So these are not set in stone. They're literally designed as a way to encourage the spontaneity, encourage the circle discussions, to give you something a little more concrete. If you're a generalist and you have to cover all of the wellness pieces within your classroom, this is a good jumping off point. One of the other things we did after this is I was asked to put together some sample wellness projects. So that'll be in another video. So you can look for that one too. Okay, it's the sample wellness projects. So in 3 months, you cover all of the wellness pieces with little activities on the way. The other thing is that some of the teachers I've asked to preview this, they found sometimes based on their students, some of the prompts were too much. So if it says write a paragraph and you know your students are not writing paragraphs, change it to a sentence, change it to you can change it to a picture, right? So the ideas are there. How you use them is up to you. So moving on, these also link right to the ELA curriculums. I didn't cross-reference that. It's not the scope of this resource, but that's in there as well. So all of those key things that we've talked about, the overarching dimensions and the overarching ideas from the entire curriculum in all grades, is also part of this as well. So let's just jump into it. I'm going to bounce around just so you can see how it's laid out and how you might use it. Actually, I like starting, we'll go somewhere in the middle, maybe grade 3. How about grade 2? So again, active living, you'll notice here in the blue, what makes PE meaningful. So these are the overarching ideas specific to that grade. And you'll notice 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. This is the numbering system that I created when I was first asked to do this back in 2023. We started the work then to try and give us some kind of structure so we can easily identify which CUSP we're talking about. So you can see right here, describe experiences as a result of participation in adventurous play. Right, so adventurous play is one of those phys ed dimensions. So if we look right down here, you'll see 1, 2, 3. These respond to the first, second, and third. So in this one, remember a time when you played with friends and tried something adventurous together, like exploring or playing tag in a new area. What was your favorite part? What made it feel fun or special? There's a lot in there. Right? There's actually 3 or 4 prompts right in that question. But what a great discussion. I encourage phys ed teachers and wellness teachers now to have a clipboard with your students' names on them. So after a discussion, you can quickly go through and hint, okay, these 6 kids were able to contribute and tell me something that actually describes that. So now you actually have that hard record as well. I like this one here. If you're playing near water, rocks, or in a forest, what are some safety rules you might need to remember? Okay, so we just start to get into this, participate in physical activity on the land and discuss safety measures. So this is like that extension down even right into the next one. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but it goes through character development as well. Let's pick one here. Examine ways individuals positively contribute to community through different roles. Now there are some abbreviations in here, right? I've tried to keep most of them out, but they slide through from my other work. So how do you help your friends or classmates when you work together in a group? Great open-ended question. What makes you feel good about helping others, right? So that literally hits the 3.2. That's going to give you that CUSP explained and detailed in some form of either discussion or journaling prompt. And it goes all the way down. Again, I'm not going to go through it all. It's here for you. I just want to get to the bottom here. In the appendix here, there are some other things that I will put in. There's an Indigenous tactics progression that you can take a look at. Here, some students, I had someone say, well, what if kids can't write? Well, here's something you can do as a group on a smart board. Which foods helped you grow strong? And it gives you some options. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in here. There's some translations as well. Anyway, for what it's worth, this is the resource that we built, and I hope it serves you, and I look forward to seeing you on the next call, maybe. I'd love for you to join our collaborative community, and if not, you'll see me on the next video. Thank you so much, and have a great day. It's Paul Marlette signing off, yours in pursuit of a happier and healthier population.